We saw you. We saw you overcome adversity. We saw you crush every struggle, outsmart every challenge. We saw you move up, tear up, and light up. We also saw you fail. We saw you miss the mark, fall short, fall down. But we saw you get back up and hold on courageously. We saw you refusing to look back. Now, we want to see you doing what inspires you, doing what scares you, taking chances and taking charge. We want to see you lead with purpose and with heart. Because at OWA, we see greatness when we see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We were so excited to see the interest level and the turnout that we were going to have for our first OWA Town Hall. So welcome. I'm Deb Bulkin, Vice President of Sales for EssilorLuxottica and President of the OWA. I'm here today with the Board of Directors, who are very, very excited to share this opportunity with you about learning a little bit more about their accomplishments here today, as well as what their future aspirations are for their committees. In addition, we feel that accessibility is so important, and it's a major goal of ours here at the OWA. And with that, we thought this would be a great way to gather some feedback from you, to hear what we're doing well, things that you'd like us to do more of, and certainly continue to invest in you so we can support and elevate all women in optical. But before we go there, what I'd like to do is just tell you a little bit about who we are. Now, many of you know that we were founded in 1997, and the OWA is made up of not only 1,000 women, but 1,000 passionate, engaged, talented women from all different areas of our amazing industry. And with that, we have a lot of support from our sponsors, your employers in many cases, as well as individual contributors who really believe in our mission and the people behind our organization. And I think it'd be great to share a little bit more about our mission, because it's something that we are all so dedicated to enhancing and promoting the leadership role of women in the optical industry through networking like this, whether it's virtual or certainly in person, more preferred, and education and peer support. And you're going to hear a lot more about the programming and ways that we mean to do that in the future. We would be nothing if we were not without some very, very important core values. And for us, that's connecting, inspiring, and leading. And many of you who have been members, and hopefully you put in the chat the year you joined the OWA, and raise your hand in the chat if you can remember the one way that we could connect was through email. That was the way. It was a very, very significant way to connect and get inspiration. And then most recently, some national events, some regional events, and many of you have volunteered to be on committee members. But what we're excited about is the importance of us creating more ways to access all the benefits that you have, all the values that we bring to the table for you. So connecting is important, and you're going to hear a lot today about ways that we can do that year-round, wherever you are. Because I want to tell you all, if you're listening right now, and if you're a part of this event today, you know that you are the heart of the OWA. And I mean that sincerely. We honestly, it's the joy to celebrate all of the amazing accomplishments of some of the most phenomenal women I've ever known. And we're very fortunate to have a lot of them in our industry here. And we also love to share personal stories, successes and triumphs. And then that brings us to our last point of connection. And I think it's probably the most important one that supports our mission. And that is about leadership. The women on the board and all of the active committee members, their sole purpose to support the mission is all around making sure that we create and support and develop future leaders of this industry. That is the goal. The goal is that year after year, more and more women become leaders. And we do that through several different ways, right? Through networking, through webinars. There's a lot of different things, through jobs, job creation. So I want you all to know that those are just a few of the things you see up on the screen that we aspire to do, and we will continue to do. But there's so much more coming down the pike. And I can't steal any thunder from our team that's getting ready to share what they've been working on. So as we said in the video earlier, we see you, and now we want you to see us, because we're very proud and we're very excited to share so much of the work that has been done. So now I'll hand it over to my amazing executive committee and our board of directors so they can share with you what they've been working on. And so for now, we'll start off with Ashley Mills. Ash?
Thanks, Deb. It's great to see all of you. Hi, ladies. I'm Ashley Mills. I'm the CEO of the Vision Council here in Alexandria, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C., and proud co-owner of Vision Expo, where I'll see you all next week, and it's going to be a great show. I'm also the chair of OWA's Finance Committee. We're a membership organization, so it's our top priority to be excellent stewards of our members and our sponsors' money. And so the Finance Committee was started 3 years ago to ensure that we were following the absolute best practices for financial management. And in that time, we've been able to create financial policy for the OWA. We've also begun looking at how we create an investment strategy for the organization. We've started in a very conservative and risk-averse posture, but we've been able to reinvest some cash that we weren't using at the time so that we're earning interest and starting to grow towards a goal of having 1 full year of operating reserves, waiting just in case there is any kind of financial adversity so that we can still continue to do the work of the women of the optical industry. Heading into the future, we're hoping to even grow more and have a more aggressive financial and investment portfolio, all with the goal of being able to help the women in the optical industry continue to achieve great things. Now I'll hand it over to Dr. Lori Lippiette.
Hi, everyone. It's so wonderful to see all your faces and see everyone participating in the chat. So please continue to do that. I'm Dr. Lori Lippiette and was president of the Salem Eye Care Center for 35 years before partnering with My Eye Doctor about 2 years ago. I'm currently co-chair of the Professional Development Fund, whose purpose is to ensure the future of the OWA by building and managing partnerships with our generous industry sponsors. In addition, the PDF committee oversees the individual contributor program, which provides the opportunity for any individual to support the OWA and its mission. Monies from the individual contributor program directly fund the OWA Leadership Scholarship Awards that you'll hear about a little bit later. I'm very pleased to report that in 2023, the OWA was supported by 58 unique companies with platinum, gold, silver, and friend level sponsorships, which is an OWA record. In addition, as a result of the individual contributor program, the OWA was pleased to support 3 leadership scholarship awards to our deserving members, in addition to the 9 that we awarded through the Platinum Sponsorship Program. I'd now like to introduce to you my co-chair, Megan Maloney.
Hey guys, it is, to Lori's point, great to see you all here. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. As I said at the beginning of our event, my name is Megan Maloney. I am the Chief Merchandising and Managed Care Officer here at National Vision in Atlanta. I've been a member of the OWA since 2017, when I immediately joined a committee with some of these amazing women. And I've just continued to increase my involvement in those 6 years, and it's been an amazing personal and professional journey. As part of the PDF, or Professional Development Fund Committee, as Lori mentioned, I think you all know this, but our sponsors make all of this possible. The generous support of our sponsors allow us to fulfill the mission that Deb talked about around enhancing and promoting the leadership role of women in our industry. And we simply couldn't do it without you, without our generous sponsors. For 2024, what we're specifically focusing on as a committee is driving sponsor company value. We want to ensure that our sponsor companies feel value by the benefits that are provided with their sponsorship level. And we want to make sure that the sponsor members are taking advantage of the many programs and benefits that are available to the employees of their organization. One of the things we'll specifically focus on is ambassadors. So for you ambassadors out there, we're going to be working hard to increase your engagement so that you can really help us be the voice of the OWAs within your own organization. And secondly, we're going to do a much better job of simplifying the benefit utilization process to make sure that all of our sponsors can use the benefits that come with their sponsorship. So those are a couple of our goals. And then, as always, it would be irresponsible if one of our largest goals wasn't to gain new sponsors. So I ask you, if you're not a sponsor today, or if you're on this call and not with a company that is a sponsor, to consider being one. You can reach out to us on the website or directly through email. We would love to have your partnership. And with that, I will turn it over to Jan Corey.
Well, hello there, everybody. I mean, if you guys haven't taken a moment just to scroll through this gallery view of women, you really should do it, because it just makes me smile to see so many friends here today. This is just awesome. So welcome. I'm Jan Corey. I'm the VP of Retail and Internet for Safilo. I'm in our New Jersey headquarters right now. I live in Westport, Connecticut, and I've been a member of the OWA for a lot of years. But I've been co-chairing this membership committee, first with Deb Bulkin and now with Liz Friedfeld for the last 4 years. I'd love to give a shout out to our amazing team, because we do have more than 1,000 members. And we are so proud of that, and we're looking for new members every day. So I'd love to tell you that the heart of the membership committee is Kathy Sapness and Benisha Rudra, Jill Fine, Shelley Logan, Ashley Meadart, Benitha Mintz, Joyce Curtulis, and Sue Berry. And from this group, many, many fingers go out, and lots of great new people are joining to be involved in a lot of things. Just want to give you a short overview of some of the things that we do. If you're on the membership committee, you're all about engaging with women in the industry. And we are engaging so that we can provide awareness of all the fun and meaningful things, really, that the OWA gets involved in. And, for me personally, I see this as the best network that I have, really, because no matter what, there's a shoulder for me, and it's been amazing. But in the past year, we've been at all of the big industry events, as you know. We sponsored the Career Zone at Vision Expo. We had an ice cream social, lots of Nutty Buddies left over for me. We do welcome calls with sponsor companies. We do regional meetups. So in the last year, we did one with the LOH crew at their Morgenthau Fredericks beautiful store down in Soho. We went out to SoCal, and we were part of iPorters. And we also did IMED in Cincinnati. Those are just a few. We do a lot of smaller things as well. We do specific ECP outreach at some shows like the Northeast Optical Show and Ontario Opticians, and on and on and on. So I look forward to seeing you guys at Vision Expo, and I'm going to throw this to my co-chair, Liz Friedfeld, to tell you about what we're working on in the year ahead. Liz?
Hi, I'm Liz Friedfeld. I'm so super excited to be on this call with you. It is absolutely amazing to see pages and pages and pages of women. And by the way, thank you so much for putting your faces on. It is definitely nice to see you, in person, well, at least virtually in person. So I'm the head of business development at Clear Vision Optical. And I like to say I've been in optical probably before I was in diapers. So I've been here for many, many years. It is my true love. I love everything about optical. And when I was brought into the OWA about 15 years ago, I don't know about you, I was a little more on the outskirts, until someone like pulled me to a networking event, pulled me in. And I still didn't really understand it until I jumped all the way in, especially in COVID. And it was amazing. The excitement and the enrichment and the value that OWA has brought to my life is immeasurable. It's just incredible. So hopefully this will be your start of your journey. If you're not all the way on a committee right yet, maybe this will be your start of like, oh, let me learn more. As part of the OWA on the membership committee, we have so many exciting events and opportunities planned for us in the next year. We have 4 pivotal efforts that we're focusing on. So the first one is a survey. So we want to know from members and non-members, why you like the OWA. What are the benefits you see? What are the benefits you want to see? And if you're not a member, really, why aren't you a member? What's missing? Are you not aware of the OWA? Do you need a different kind of benefit? So we'd like to learn from you and analyze that information and then bring it back and look at those benefits and maybe bring you new ones. So that's super exciting. You'll see it in emails. You'll see it in social posts. So please take 2 or 3 minutes and fill it out. We also know from past experience that events are critical, especially as Deb mentioned, live and in person. So we're bringing you more of them. Go where the people are. So if you're going to be at a Vision Expo, we're going to be there. If you're going to be at a regional event, like an industry event such as SECO or Heart of America, we're going to try to be there as well. Maybe it's going to be a buying group or an alliance event. So we're going to make it easy for you to connect, but we're not going to lose sight of the small local meetups because we know those are important as well. So we're super excited about that. We're also looking to develop a rich prospecting list. So in the past, when you've attended an event, you might have come in, we probably said hi, but we didn't keep in touch. We didn't learn from you. So that's critical. We want to keep in touch with you, learn from you, see why you need, see, how we can help you be inspired, help you gain leadership skills, maybe network better. You can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or at Vision Expo. I'm happy to meet you in person. And lastly, when you finally join, when you become a member, we want to make sure you feel like the big love and the big hug. So we're going to wrap it up in a bow. We're going to welcome you. And then we're going to have multiple touch points throughout the year just for you to make sure that you're getting the most benefits possible out of the OWA, as well as things that you do need as well. So hopefully that answers some of your questions. I'd love to know, if you've not already put in the chat, what you do love about the OWA. And I'll make sure I'll read every single one of those responses one by one. So pop them in. I love it because I met all of you today. So with that, I am going to pop it over to John Neal, who's with the Connections and Enrichment Committee.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Liz, speaking of the bow, this is when they come to us. They come to Connection Enrichments once you get the bow. So hi, everyone. My name is Jonna. I'm with Xyloware, Iowa. I've been I'm SVP at Xyloware, Iowa. I've been with the OWA since 2018. It was something that was near and dear to my heart. I always tell everybody my journey was personal. I was more of a person who was internal. I'm in operations. So OWA gave me that external support that I needed. By a group of women that took me in and kind of developed me. I'm also happy to see a bunch of women on here that I know personally. I met through the channels of the OWA, so without that, I may not have met a lot of people here. I do see a lot of people from CNE as well, Connection and Enrichment, so thank you for coming. I think we touched about the 3 mission statements that we have, so I'm going to touch a little bit more about how this Connection Enrichment Committee double downs on the mission statement. So one is the networking and connection. Many people may have seen it or not. We have a podcast that happens every month. We get with sponsor companies, some industry favorites, and we talk about all different types of topics. It's very fun and interesting. I hope everyone gets the chance to listen to it. It is pre-recorded, so you don't have to listen to it right then and there, but my team will hit me if I say, please, please, please make sure you watch in this podcast and listen to it. There's also 1 minute inspiration. If you're not really a person that likes to maybe speak, you're shy or timid, this is your way to kind of pop out and write something up. We have people, this is how we connect with people sometimes. Hey, thank you for coming to the OWA, welcoming you. Tell us a short story about yourself, something you overcome. There's been some tear jokers. There's been some very transparent communications on there as well. For education, Lori mentioned that earlier, that the individual contributor funding goes directly to scholarships. There was 3 awarded just this year. And some of those programs include education. If there's a course you want to take that directly correlates with something at work. There have been programs from Yale to Harvard professional training, even Dale Carnegie training. So that's something that obviously the OWA provides and some sponsor companies. Last but not least, peer support. If you have not joined, please join one of our fireside chats. It is a very intimate and engaging 1 hour. We do it twice a day now. So we have an early morning, kind of a lunch break, and then an evening. And it's very intimate. It's not recorded. It touches very much on some professional and personal topics. It's something that I think everyone should join. And there's a bunch of people here that I see that were on it on the last one, so that they know. Once again, like we've been saying, we're inviting everyone in the chat. If there's something that we feel we could connect with you with, feel free to put that in there. We'll reach out to you. And I am going to kick it over to my co-chair, Tamara. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jonna. I am Senior Marketing Director with EssilorLuxottica, and I co-chair the Connection Enrichment Committee alongside Jonna. It's an amazing committee. We have so many great members that really drive forward these initiatives and efforts that Jonna has spoken about. We could not do it without our amazing committee. I'm excited to talk about for next year, for 24, one of our strategic goals is to expand our OWA Unplugged retreat that you may have seen a little bit of information about already in recent months. We are piloting this retreat this year. So actually next month in October, it's sponsored by Clear Vision and is intentionally designed to be a small gathering with about 40 women that are going to come together next month. The idea of this retreat was born out of the desire to take our fireside chat sessions, which are virtual, and bring them from Zoom to in person to really create more meaningful discussions and stronger bonds across all women within optical. For those less familiar with fireside chats, if you haven't had a chance to join one of those virtual sessions, these are gatherings of our members where we discuss various topics, including mental health, getting to know yourself and others, goal setting, how to have new connections, turning obstacles into opportunities, and empowerment for your personal and professional growth. Really, really great topics that have been meaningful to the members that join. So while the retreat is anchored around this concept of a live virtual chat, we also wanted to include other impactful activities that had been popular sessions with our members, like the OWA Reads Book Club, if you've been on those before in the past. The optical industry has brought all of us together professionally, and this event will give us an opportunity to connect and enrich many members across the OWA at once. So we're going to test this concept over the next month, and then we'll take feedback from the attendees on how to shape this for next year as we really plan to broaden this to the larger OWA organization next year. So we're really excited about that. Now I'm going to hand it over to Laura Doris.
Thank you, Tamara. So nice to see so many familiar faces and friends and some people from the events committee. I see Molly and Kathy. Just want to say hello. I'm Laura Doris, the EVP of Strategic Sales at PECA. I've been on the OWA board for 6 years, and I've co-led the events committee during my board service. I've been a member since 2014, and this organization has just meant so much to me and the friendships that I've made along the way. The amazing volunteers of the OWA Events Committee have helped shape OWA key events. We're responsible for kind of putting together the major events at the Vision Expo. So these key events have a far reach and impact on our industry. And we continually look to elevate the events each year and collaborate with most all of the other committees to execute top-notch industry events to represent OWA. Some highlights. Many of you know the networking events at both Vision Expo East and the networking and raffle event at Vision Expo West have grown so much, and they've become a great place to connect with other members and sponsors of the OWA. So many times, I think we've all heard that many members have joined OWA after attending one of these networking events. The Connection Series Luncheon is a key event at Vision Expo West. We've featured some terrific keynote speakers, authors, and great panel discussions over the last 10 plus years. This event has really helped inspire and connect members during Vision Expo West. In fact, this year's event, the Rally Mentality with keynote Shannon McCain, is already at capacity. Our big signature event really is the Champagne Breakfast and Awards Ceremony. This has been so special. In 2015, OWA held its first champagne breakfast and award ceremony, which has now grown to be one of the most special events during Vision Expo East. This event has grown so much that over the years, we've, in 2019, had the need to go out and find a larger venue that could accommodate well over 400 attendees so that we can invite and welcome the industry into this really special event. It's a great kickoff to Vision Expo East, and it's where OWA gets the opportunity to celebrate really special women, the recipients of the Pleiades, the Pyxis, and the Emerging Leader Award recipients. I hope to see many of you next week at Vision Expo West and get to know new friends that we haven't met yet. Now I'd like to turn it over to Events Committee Co-Chair Courtney.
Thanks, Laura. Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney Myers. I'm a Senior Vice President at Havas Red. We're a merged media agency, and we have clients in a variety of industries, but I have to admit optical is my favorite. I'm starting my third year on the OWA board and have been part of the events committee for almost 8 years now. And as Laura said, we're always looking to enhance our event and really create more opportunities for connecting is one of the ways that we're doing that. Some recent changes that we've made that you may have noticed, instead of having a keynote speaker at the champagne breakfast, we've put more focus on our honorees and have expanded the amount of time available for networking. We use the Connection Series event to deliver, very engaging and inspiring keynote speakers, but I have to compliment the events committee. They've come up with some creative ways to encourage attendees to connect and inspire each other. So if you're going to be joining us next week, be ready to put your thinking caps on and engage. And this year, for the first time at Vision Expo West, the OWA is actually going to be offering free professional headshots on Friday, actually immediately following Vision Monday's Most Influential Women lunch event. It's a great opportunity for us because many of the Vision Monday honorees are, of course, OWA members, but many of them are not. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us to connect with each other and potentially reach new members. So you do not have to attend the lunch to be able to get a headshot. If you're interested, you can just stop by on Friday, anytime between 2 and 3:30, and you'll get a new headshot and a free resource from our digital marketing committee on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So it's a great opportunity. We hope to see you there. And to tell you more about the digital marketing committee, I am passing it over to Trudy.
Thanks, Courtney. Hi, everyone. I'm Trudy Sheree. I'm the co-founder of Marketing for ECPs. We're a digital marketing agency in the eye care space. We work with over 1,200 ECPs across North America. I also follow Liz in that I grew up in the industry. My dad was an optician who owned an optical store, who talked his daughter into coming to the industry. So literally diapers to Liz. It's kind of fitting that I do follow the events committee because it was Laura Doris in 2016 that invited me to a cocktail event for the OWA at Vegas event. And literally, I walked in, I was so wowed by the quality of the event, the networking, the communications, and I knew I had to be a part of this organization. It has opened so many doors for me, and just the amount of people that I've met and the friends and the group that I work with here on the board has just been invaluable. I want to say that I think we put on some of the best events in the industry. If you have not taken in one of our events, please do. I'm currently the chair of the Digital Marketing Committee, and our goal is to connect and inform all things OWA through our social media and digital channels, while building awareness about the OWA and inspiring people. We use our digital channels to tell the OWA story. We communicate happenings and events, and we post all the benefits the OWA offers. Our goal is to connect to every woman in optical. And in the last 2 years, we've doubled our following. We would love for all of you to connect with us. So please do. There's multiple channels for us on the Digital Marketing Committee, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Please take this opportunity to join us on one of those. We have 17 amazing women on our Digital Marketing Committee. I saw a few joining here, so we're excited. They're from all sectors of the eye care industry. And we want to say, just like the Army, we're always recruiting. So if you want to learn some new skills, help us out on the Digital Marketing Committee. We're very active. And just to follow up Courtney's talk about the LinkedIn booth at Vegas is yes, get that LinkedIn profile picture. We're going to teach you how to use it. You're going to be seeing some posts coming out on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. And with that, I'll pass it over to Katie.
All right. Thanks, Trudy. Hey, everyone. As everybody else has said, we're so happy that you're here. It's great to look out and see, like Liz said, pages of women. So it's amazing. I'm Katie Lover, and I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for GPN Technologies, and I chair the Communications and Website Committee. So just like many of us, I joined the OWA in 2018 through an event. And I've been absolutely in love with this organization and what we stand for ever since I got started. The Communications and Website Committee is responsible for managing our blog and the member spotlight, and we assist with updating the website when needed as well. I am super excited to announce that this year our committee has seen a 43% increase in committee membership. So the extra hands have really allowed us to maximize our efforts with our blog and our member spotlight. So we've had a 305% increase in page views for the blog when comparing last year to this year. And we've had a 113% increase in member spotlight features on the website. And we're not even to the end of the year yet. So there's just so much more amazingness to come. Moving forward in 2024, we're going to be making some changes with the website to offer more virtual engagement opportunities. So we've taken feedback from many of you and we've mixed it with our overall goals for the organization. And we're thrilled to be working on a plan to kind of execute all of these updates. So we're looking to really liven things up with updated member profiles to offer you more of that LinkedIn or Facebook type of feel, connection forums, new social media feeds, and so much more. And we're always looking to hear from you. Many of us have said that today. Please pop things into the chat. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you want to see on our website and within this organization. So feel free to reach out to us. All right. So with that, I'm going to pop it over to Robin.
Thank you, Katie. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I'm Robin Crimmins, the past president of Optical Women's Association. I'm also the division vice president of sales for VSP. As the past president, one of the privileges and honors I get to perform for OWA is to chair our nominating committee. The nominating committee is a pretty special group of women. It's made up of the past presidents of the OWA. Those women include Marge Axelrod, Tiara Claxton, Sherry Rogerson, Ann Englert, Maureen Kavanaugh, Deb Bulkin, and Lorinda Fraboni. Lorinda, I know I saw you on here and it's so great to see you and have you. The role of the nominating committee is first to keep an eye on the talent in our industry. We have so much talent in the women in optical. We keep an eye on that talent. We create and manage a pipeline of future leaders of the Optical Women's Association. And we work to ensure that our leadership is representative of our membership, our sponsorship companies, and the diversity that we see in the optical industry. The path to leadership in OWA is to get involved on a committee. I encourage you all to get involved if you aren't already. It is such a great way to share your gifts and experience in a whole new way, to learn from and be inspired by other women in the optical industry, and to inspire others yourself. and to make lifelong connections and friendships like I've been able to do with my work at the OWA. So please join a committee. Thank you very much for being here today. If you're at Vision Expo West next week, please come up and say hi and introduce yourself. And now I will turn this over to Megan to lead us through a Q&A. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Robin. Thanks, everyone. So now's the Q&A part. If you haven't put your questions that you have into the chat, please feel free to do so. We want to go ahead and get everything answered. And this is really your time to ask anything you're thinking about or wondering about. We'd love to engage with those questions now. If we can't get through all of them, just rest assured that we will recap them and send out some answers after the event today. But we do have a few, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Laura, you touched on the events that we are having that we have at our Vision Expos. Can you answer the question of will there be, or is there, or have we considered having an OWA lounge at our Vision Expo events?
Great question, Megan. And yes, it is something that we have talked about. We'd like to have more ways to connect women outside of the industry. So it is something that we have for future events moving into 2024 for discussion. We don't have a lounge. We will have a presence, like Courtney said, during the headshots. We have our connection series, but really the Friday night event is a great place to come by, even if you can come by for a few minutes. Amazing just to see the turnout. We end up with hundreds of folks, but it's great to meet new friends and connect with people there and meet some of the board members, right? We love to help get you connected into a committee.
Great. And another question coming your way, but it might be answered in the chat. Folks are lobbying to have the headshot event replicated at Vision Expo East because they will not be attending West.
So I see that and have noted it. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Another question that's coming in, and we have hit on this a bit, but I'm going to punt this to you, Liz. This is specifically, how do I go about getting on a committee?
I'm always on mute, so sorry.
No problem.
But that's a great question. And there's so many ways. So first, if you go to our website, which is, I recommend you going there anyhow. There's so much powerful information. You can find out about our events. You can find out about the board members. You can find out any person that's a member already and get their emails and connect up. So it's a powerful resource to begin with. But if you go to your own profile on the website, it'll say, you know, what are you interested in? And those committee elements that are right below there, they will go right to us if you click on it. So I recommend clicking on membership, but all of the committees are great and you'll meet great women and have great opportunity to get connected. If somehow you forget that, like that would be me, I'd forget those instructions. On the website, there'll be all the board members there with our connections as well. Click on those. Send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We want to know why you want to get involved, and we'll help guide you along that way as well. So hopefully that answers that question, Meg.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Liz. Here is another great question. Outside of committee work and attending events at the expos, if I'm not traveling to the shows, what are other ways I can get more involved with the OWA? And Jan, maybe Jan, you can take that as a membership committee.
Yeah. Hi. Sure. There's a lot of regional things that happen. And again, I think I just heard one of my colleagues say to check with the website. Carol also sends out great emails about regional things that are happening, and just dive in and go to one of them. We have hardly ever put any kind of a cap on attendance. We'd love to have as many people from a local area show up. So I would say that the OWA is all the places in the industry that you are, whether it's the big shows or whether it's the regional events that could be at a local trade show or at a ECP event. We are often in those locations. You can see on the website all the things that we're doing, and just feel comfortable walking in and and joining, because that's how we meet one another, and we love meeting new people. So I hope that answers that question.
Perfect. Thank you. Tamara, you touch on the retreat, and you mentioned that this is kind of a pilot, and we're just going to have a few folks attending as we learn our way through it. Can you talk about the vision, if you didn't touch on it, of retreats in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, as we talked about, certainly this year is a pilot approach. So we're really limiting to about 40 women to really have a test and learn. This is something we have never done within the OWA. So we're really excited about venturing into this area and bringing things that we do virtually, like the fireside chats, bringing those in person. And then having other team building and just connection opportunities to really bring us together. So we're going to pilot it this year, and the goal to expand much broader next year to as many as we can within the OWA. So we're excited. Stay tuned as we test and learn and figure out how we can expand this next year to really make it meaningful for the members.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm going to punt this back to you, Jan, and or Liz on the membership committee. The question is, why can't men join the OWA?
Take that one, Liz. Yeah. Well, it is an organization for women, all women. And yet we benefit greatly by supportive men. We love when men come to our events and support us either as individual contributors or just allowing us opportunities or expertise that help advance women within the industry. So it is absolutely a women's organization, but it benefits greatly by our colleagues in all our various companies and the men that help support us through their generous donations or their presence at our events. I hope that answers the question.
It does. Thank you, Jan. And I would, as the co-chair of the Professional Development Committee, men are encouraged to help support us through either sponsoring through their companies, which many men are the key liaisons with our sponsor companies, or through the individual contributor program, as Jan mentioned. So lots of opportunities for our men friends to be involved. A question for Deb. Are board members paid?
I'm actually glad to have that question because I think it's a really wonderful opportunity to really highlight the amount of talent and effort and energy that this board puts into what they do to bring these types of events to you. And I guess that's my long way of saying that we don't want them to leave the board because they are not paid. It's a completely 1000% volunteer organization. And I think that's what makes us so, Katie uses the word authentic a lot. I think when you'll see these women up here and hopefully some of you are aspiring to join committee, like Robin said, and be a part of our pipeline and our future leadership, because we have much more to do. And I want to tie into the last question was, why men may not be a part of the organization right now. It may not be never. One of my mentors, Maureen Cavanaugh, who's on the nominating committee, she mentioned, I think when I got on the board, leadership roles for women are still very untapped. The OWA was formed 26 years ago, and we've made some progress. You see some women in C-suite roles, not as many as there should be. And so while we still have a long way to go, we feel we need to continue to focus our energies and effort behind women who choose to really invest in themselves through the help and support of our sponsors, whether they be male or female. So no, it's a volunteer organization that really is driven by women who just have such a tremendous passion for giving back in a lot of cases. That's certainly me at the point in my career. I love actually getting to meet all of you. That's another thing that's a real benefit. I think you heard John and Neil say, honestly, just having the opportunity to meet people outside your own organization is a tremendous growth opportunity for everybody. So I'm happy. I'm sorry I went back to a former question, but I think it's really important for everybody who's on the call here to know that, you know, we're trying to empower all women in the industry to, you know, meet and exceed all of their career aspirations. And until we can get a little further down the path, I think we'll probably stay for women at the moment.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thanks, Deb. Katie, I'm going to throw this one your way. This is from someone asking, what's the first step? How do I start to connect with other women in the OWA?
Yeah, so I think that we've all kind of said it, you know, joining a committee or going to an in-person or virtual event is a great way to connect with others. But something that's really easy to do is to pop onto the website and take a look at our member directory. So I actually was just talking with the board about this earlier today. I went into the member directory and I just typed in Virginia, where I'm from. And I wanted to see how many members are located in my state and where are they located. And I found out that about 15 women are literally about 45 minutes away from me. And so, you know, it's always hard to take that leap to just dry email somebody or reach out to somebody. But sometimes that's how the best friendships are formed, is taking that leap to just contact someone. So you can search through the member directory by interest, you know, professional development, personal development topics, by, you know, region. There's so many different search options in the directory. So you could just kind of go through there and find somebody who might have something in common with you and reach out.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie. Lori, I'm going to ask you this one. I think it's most appropriate for you. How does the OWA benefit the independent doctor?
The independent doctor. Well, an independent doctor is independent without many liaisons to the industry. And certainly, I would say that as I got more engaged with the industry through different consulting opportunities, the cornerstone was really the women in the OWA. Like many people, I showed up at an event. I was kind of taken there, if you will. And I was introduced to, as a lot of you may have been, Ann Englert, who sort of took me by the arm and said, hey, I want you to meet so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And over the years, many, many years, been a member of the OWA for a long time, I really started to slowly grow my network, and mentors have come out of this organization, friends have come out of this organization, people that I have come to really rely on for decision making, both professionally and personally. So at the surface, it may just appear to be one thing to you, but in this organization, you're going to find it to be so much more. As an independent practitioner, I was on my island. As a member of the organization,
Thank you, Lori. I'm having a little technical difficulty, but I think you finished answering the question. Yes? Great. Any other questions, guys? Please throw them out. One other question, and I can answer this one, which is really about, I am an ambassador. What can I do to engage more members of my company? So the ambassador program, which I think, Lori, was your brainchild, lives within the Professional Development Committee. The ambassador's role is to be the voice of the Optical Women's Association within the sponsor company organization. And so what you can do there is really make sure that you're joining the quarterly ambassador calls. That's where you'll get all the lowdown on all the events that are taking place, all the activities that are happening, and then determine the right way to take that back to your organization. I know some companies do lunch and learns. Some share this through their resource groups, their employee resource groups. Just determine the best way for you and your organization to spread the word so that folks know what the OWA does and more of your company's employees will consider joining. That's a great question. I think we're going through most of our questions, guys. I'm going to throw one out there for the audience, and love if you could throw your thoughts into a chat, maybe for discussion. One is, can anyone share their personal story of how the OWA has helped you or a member of your organization to further your professional or personal goals? Does anybody have a story they can share? And you can type it in the chat. And I'm going to throw this out to anyone else on the board. Does anyone else have any questions to throw out that folks can engage in the chat? Deb, anything else to?
I was just going to make a comment. I'd love to see, I'd put out there, let us know if you want to host an event. You don't have to wait for us to bring it to you. Raise your hand. That's something else that the membership committee does. Liz will be excited to get that phone call. We do have funds to support events to a certain extent. And a lot of companies, a lot of the sponsor companies will actually host so that we can get some more members, so that they learn a little bit more about who we are. I saw somebody from Indiana. I saw somebody from Saratoga Springs, which is close to home for me. So please, if you want to host, sometimes it's just a wine and cheese. Other times, it could be, bringing a speaker in, doing a panel, whatever way you want to be creative, give back and get something back. Please raise your hand. We are volunteers, and this is the way it works. And this is the way you get to meet some really amazing people.
I agree. And thank you, Lorinda, for the good feedback. Lorinda, I don't know if you've all seen her feedback, but when Lorinda was at Wallman, they would have lunch and learns for those folks would come and bring their lunches, and they'd watch the OWA videos, or in this case, some of the fireside chats, and then have discussions. So that's a really great way to get more folks involved as well. So thank you for that. And then Heather's reaching out. Heather, thank you, Heather, from National Vision, saying, I'd love to connect with other ambassadors. So if there are any ambassadors, reach out to Heather. She'd love to learn what it is you guys are doing to engage your members.
Megan?
Yes.
Can I just add also out to the ambassadors, we have all been asked at times to come on to your calls or to join meetings if we're there locally, and to come and talk about the OWA. So if any of you would ever like to invite any of us, I know we're happy to come and share our experience and also ways to get involved with the OWA. Also, I wanted to just do a shout out. I saw in the chat where Versant Health is going to pay for, lean into the sponsorship and pay for all of your members, almost 50 associates. So thank you. Pay membership for all the women. So thank you very, very much. That is an amazing, amazing contribution. Thank you.
Excellent. So thank you all for submitting your questions. I think, Deb, that is ending our Q&A session. That's all the questions we have.
Well, that's great. I think we really got some fantastic questions, but don't stop there. If there's any others that you think of as we're kind of wrapping things up, please feel free to put them in the chat. And I think Megan already said it once, but of course, we're going to be collecting all of the questions that we may or may not have been able to get to, and we will send them back out to you. But once again, hopefully you know that this is an open invitation to connect with us constantly. Don't wait for these opportunities to arise. We're very easy to find. Don has done a great job of building out our our personal information and all the platforms that we participate in. So reach out. That is the reason for it. And please add your platforms that you don't mind others reaching out to you on. So I want to say thank you again. Amazing questions. I want everybody on the call maybe to give a standing O for these amazing 12 women. As I sit here and I tell my team all the time, I get the goosebumps once a day, and this has been my goosebump moment. The passion and the energy is just incredible. And I think you all would agree. It's great to surround yourself with passionate, just engaged, talented people. So I want to share with you as we begin to close our session today that we, and through basically very much the support of Robin Crimmins, came up with a united intention statement. And so if you would bear with me, I think it's very important. And for you that are all members, I think you should be proud to know that this is what the OWA stands for. So maybe you'll read it along with me. But Since 1997, the OWA has set the standard in the optical industry by intentionally connecting, inspiring, and leading women in their professional and personal development. I underscore personal because there's many times throughout the year that we go through personal challenges, and we're here for you for that as well. With a mindset of inclusion and acceptance, the OWA actively welcomes all women in optical to become members and take part in the creation of and participation in any of our resources, events, and programs. We invite members to share their thoughts, opinions, and experiences openly and without criticism or ridicule. We encourage each to excel in her chosen way. And by actively welcoming and celebrating diversity and inclusion, we create space for growth and a richer experience for all. And so with that, and on behalf of the entire board of directors, I want to say how grateful we are to be a part of your journey as much as you being a part of ours. And as Robin mentioned, please, if you're coming out to Vision Expo West, put it in the chat, reach out to us. You can reach out as through LinkedIn, through cell phone, whatever you need to do to touch base. We may not be having a social gathering there, but we'll make sure that we find a way to meet up. So share the power of pink with a colleague or a friend for sure. They will be forever grateful, as I know so many of you have shared that story. When somebody introduced you to the OWA, it was very meaningful and life-changing. So with that, I will close, hand it over to Megan for a minute, and just say, have a wonderful evening. And thank you for being a part of our first town hall.
Thank you, Deb. And gosh, really, everyone, on behalf of all of us on the OWA board, we want to thank you for spending your time with us today. It means a lot to us. The OWA wouldn't be what we are if it weren't for all of you amazing women. And we would love to connect with you more, and we value your suggestions and ideas. So we asked you, but please really do reach out to us. We have on our social media channels, via the blog, directly via email, whatever's easiest for you. And if you wouldn't mind, if you'd take a minute and scan the QR code that you see here, this would complete a survey for us that would, and submit some questions that you might have. So that would be very helpful for us. We hope you have a great rest of your week. We hope to see you many of you next week. And just remember, as we said in the beginning, when we see greatness, we see you. So thank you all and have a wonderful evening. Bye.